The movie starts and we can see there's a thesis on the screen, in which they are talking about a ritual that can transfer the soul of a dead body to another body. Then we can see a photographer named Victor preparing to take a photo of a woman who is wearing a gown appears to be his wife. Her eyelids are painted by some colors and given a shape of her eyes. As he is about to click her photo, his wife's head bows down. He goes back to her chair in which she is sitting and sets her head tight, but the second time also her head bows down. Seeing this, he gets very upset, and when he goes to set it again, he realizes that someone is behind him, but when he moved backwards no one is there. After that he finally manages to capture her photo. Then he travels to a village, and here the real truth appears that his wife Olga had died a few hours back, and he is planning to transfer his wife's soul into a young peasant girl through his wife's ring. He arrives to find the villagers protesting against him, and a man tries to stop him and says that he will not let him do this, but Victor brutally kills him, which scares all the villagers. Then he puts the ring on the girl's finger and seals her in the coffin with his dead wife and prepares to bury the coffin. It suddenly begins to shake. Seeing this, Victor and the villagers both get very scared, and then a hand comes out breaking the coffin. It shocks the Victor. When he opens up the coffin, he sees the Olga's soul has been transferred into the body of a young girl. Then he writes in his journal that it was several days since Olga has not returned yet. Her new form was strange for him, but he knows that as long as the photograph of Olga is saved, her soul will not be threatened by anyone. He hide the photograph where no one can find it, and he is sure that they will soon be together again. One day, she awakens in her new body, but when he looks back, her body is not on the bed and suddenly she's standing behind him. He removes the cloth from her face and is surprised to see her, and Olga asks him what happened to her, to which Victor says she is alive again. She gets very scared seeing herself in her new form and asks him what did he do, and the scene cuts. Now the flashback is over. Here in the present day we see a college student named Nastya. As she is sleeping, her professor asks her does she have any plans for tomorrow. Her friend tells professor that she is getting married tomorrow. We then see her with her fiancé Ivan, and Nastya is talking on her phone with her mom. He tells her mom he is a photographer. After that we see them getting married, and the next morning Ivan tells Nastya that he has to go to see his sister Lisa today. So they leave to Ivan family's house. They both get to the house, which is in the middle of the forest. Ivan introduces Nastya to his sister Lisa and her nephew and niece. Lisa welcomes her and tells her that their family is full of photographers. At dinner, Lisa welcomes Nastya to their family and tells her the tent is ready. The guests will arrive the day after tomorrow, and as their family tradition, they will have the wedding. Ivan says that they are going back tomorrow. Hearing that, Lisa says that Nastya is now part of their family, so she wants to give her something. She gives her a ring saying that it's their grandmother's ring. But we see that Ivan gets upset and he did not want Nastya to take the ring. So he puts that ring back into the box and looks at Lisa in anger. Later, when Nastya is taking a bath, she hears some sound and then the door opens automatically. She gets up from the bathtub and walks outside in the hall. She sees a woman. As she walks towards her, at first she is thinking that woman is Lisa. She goes to the room to get some sleep, all confused. Nastya wakes up late in night. She sees that Ivan is not in bed. She gets up and goes out looking for him and finds Ivan and Lisa arguing downstairs about keeping Nastya here, and Ivan threatens to leave. The next day, while Nastya was looking at the photos on the wall, she hears some sound from behind. She finds a secret tunnel, which was extending through the whole house. Just then, Lisa comes there and Nastya asks her that she heard a voice from there. Which Lisa tells her sometimes children played there. Nastya then asks her where is Ivan, to which she tells he has gone into town to see his friends. Lisa then leaves from there. Nastya tries to call Ivan but his number is not reachable. Then she shows her a wedding dress and asks her to try it. Lisa tells her it's their grandmother's dress and asks her to wear it tomorrow for her wedding. The dress is inherited from mother to daughter, and while talking, she takes out Ivan's ring from her finger and give her the same ring that she was trying to give at the breakfast table. Later, Nastya is watching a video on her laptop when suddenly she hears a sound coming from the cupboard. When she opens the cupboard, she finds a secret passage inside it, and Lisa's son is also in there. He asks Nastya to help him as her sister Tanya got stuck in the wall. Then Nastia goes into that secret tunnel with him. He shows Nastia where her sister is stuck. She sees that Tanya's leg got stuck in between some pipes. She pulls the pipe and by using some force, she frees her. But then she sees a room there. She sees that there is some old stuff lying there and also discovers a photograph of a bride. Hidden by Victor at the beginning of the film. Again she tries to call Ivan, but his number is still not reachable. As she is making her hair in front of the mirror when she hears some sound and sees herself standing behind her. Seeing this she gets terrified and runs out, but outside again she sees herself, causing her to fall and faint. Now when she wakes up at night, the man runs away in fear, and when asked, he starts moving toward that room. The door closes. Next she wakes up on her bed and asks Lisa about Ivan, to which she says he will be back tonight. She then introduces her to a doctor named Aglaya, who tracks her vitals and tells her there is nothing to worry about, she is fine. Later Nastia sends a voice message to Evan to inform him that very weird things are happening here and she is leaving now. When she's trying to escape from there, she hears Aglaya and Lisa, where Aglaya tells her that if something goes wrong it will destroy them all and they are in danger because of Ivan. Then as Nastia gets in the car to leave, she suddenly sees Aglaya walking nearby with a lantern. She follows her to the second house in the plot where she finds her, feeding imprisoned Ivan. Nastia gets in shock that the family had locked him up inside after his argument with Lisa, implying that the family wants Nastia to stay. Then when Aglaya leaves, Nastia tries to talk to Ivan and when he notices her he tells her to get out of there as she is about to come here. Then the lights turn off and Nastia starts bleeding from her nose. Then she hears some sound from behind and Evan tells her to stop breathing and close her eyes, but before she could understand anything, she encounters a white-skinned spirit, the black wedding dress. She gets terrified seeing her and tries to flee but falls into a pit. Then when she tries to come out, Lisa's father catches her and brings her back home. Here, glad, she gives her tea to drink, but when she refuses, they forcibly make her drink it, after which she faints. Now on her dream, she goes into the same period where she sees Victor with his ill wife and sees that her eyes are completely red. She tells Victor that she is dead, after which her body starts twitching. But then all of a sudden she gets up and starts looking into Victor's eyes, which causes his eyes to bleed and he dies. After killing him, the bride turns around and says, "Let me take your body." She then tries to attack her, but Nastia wakes up, the next day with the wedding being prepared. She sees that everyone there is treating her well and she also finds Ivan there, which she gets overjoyed to see and he reassures Nastia that everything will be fine. Then Lisa and Aglaya come there and take Nastia from there to show her something while getting dressed. She looks. Just then she sees Tayu there and goes behind her and then attempts to escape but is bound up by the ritual members. They then start taking her somewhere and when Ivan tries to help her, his family members stops him. Now Nastia is locked in a room where she encounters the living skeleton possessed by the spirit of the bride. Nastia gets terrified seeing it, and the skeleton starts moving towards her. But as it reaches her, Ivan rescues her and brings her out of the house. Now while driving her away in his car, he reveals that his family is cursed. The creature she saw in the bedroom is called Mother. She killed his mother and left his father invalid. Her body is dying and she needs a new one, but the person should be related to someone in the family. He also reveals that the only way to destroy the spirit of the mother is to destroy the photograph of the bride. Nastia reveals that she knows where the photograph is, and suddenly the car slams Ivan's car, and the ritual members capture Nastia and leave Ivan to die. Nastia is brought back to the house where they put the red diamond ring on her fingers, so that the soul can be transferred into Nastia's body. Then they seal Nastia in the coffin and dump the coffin into the ground. Nastia cries for help, but no one helps her. And then after a while she gets terrified to see the spirit of the bride moving toward her. And then she possesses her Aglaya and all the members watch the coffin shaking, and on the other hand, we see that Evan had survived the accident. When the members open up the coffin, a possessed Nastia gets up and tells the people the body is ruined before the ritual and falls back into the coffin. Seeing this, everyone runs away in fear and Aglaya encounters the bride. She apologizes to her, but the bride screams and kills her. Meanwhile, Ivan makes it back to the house and finds the unconscious Nastia. Lisa asked her for mercy and says that they are just kids and it's not their fault. After hearing this, the ghost disappears from there, but she reappears and screams, causing Lisa to fall out of the window and the children flee to the secret passage. When Nastya and Ivan come inside the house, the injured Lisa begs them to save her. Nastya remembers the photograph and tries to go to that room through the tunnel, and during this the bride comes there and attacks. Ivan and Nastya reaches the room where she encounters children, but the bride spirit also appears there. And then Lisa puts the ring on herself, and is possessed by the spirit here, even breaks down a wall, and while Nastya escorts the kids out from there, Lisa appears and takes Tanya away. Nastya takes the photograph and goes to confront Lisa. Lisa looks at her and starts laughing, and as she is about to kill Tanya, Nastya shows her the photograph and she leaves Tanya. Lisa then tells her not to break the photo and suddenly attacks her, and she drops and loses the photograph in the process. Now, as she is about to kill Nastya, the child calls out to Lisa and she snaps out from her possession. She tells Nastya to take care of her children before sacrificing herself. Lisa kills herself in order to save her children. A few years later, a new family arrives at the house intending to purchase and renovate. It may notice a hole in the wall, and when they look through it, a figure slides past them. I also have a theory on afterlife. Want to hear about it? Like and share this video.